It shouldn't be to anyone's surprise at this point. Now, I don't mean to throw any shade. No shade being thrown here. Especially the Japanese side of building cars on YouTube. It's become sort of a sausage fest of who can spend the most money on their car each day, or who can build their cars the quickest, or who can own the most cars, buy the most cars. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally cool. It's really fun to watch that from a content perspective. But me personally, again, no shade, I don't enjoy that. I couldn't enjoy my cars if I did that. And so I was thinking, I was like, you know what can I do to maintain my own self but be different on YouTube? Seems like a pretty obvious solution, but nobody's done this before. I'm gonna import an R34 Skyline. I do want to apologize beforehand. My Evo is really, really loud and drony. So I'm using the best possible camera setup I can with the best mic I can. And it might be a little drony and hard to hear sometimes, but that's just what, it's the price you gotta pay. Oh, this is very shaky. Hold on, I'm gonna... Dude, okay, this guy had his secondary life figured out way better than most people have their primary lives figured out. Let me read you this. So I emailed this guy and I was like, hey, I'm interested, can I get some more pictures? Can we FaceTime? Can we whatever? Can we talk on the phone? And he gets back to me, he's like, yo, I'm actually selling this car for my dad. He's stationed right now in some military base, whatever. He was like, yeah, email my dad. I was like, okay, this sounds kind of weird, but whatever, I'll do it anyways. I'll play along. I like to consider myself an intelligent individual, so I'm not gonna get scammed. So I ended up emailing this guy, right? And I just said, hey, I spoke to your son about the Supra. I'd like to see more pictures, blah, blah, blah. He goes, hi there, I saw you're interested in my Supra. The car's in excellent shape, both inside and out. It's been garage kept, non-smoker. All the VIN tags are in place. This is how well this guy had this thing figured out. All the VIN tags are in place on the car, as well as the factory Toyota window etching on the glass. The car is completely stock with no modifications. A recent maintenance was performed on the car by a very reputable super tuner, Sound Performance. He even gave me the name of Sound Performance, which is really dumb, which included a new timing belt, new valve stem seals, new front main seal, new spark plugs, and fresh oil change. 4 new matching tires were just recently installed as well. In addition, the car was also fully inspected by a Toyota dealer and passed state inspection. Runs and drives like brand new. Then he's like, blah, 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 blah. I think this price is more than fair. I'd be happy to send you more pictures of the car. And he sends me more pictures of the car. Me, my analytical sort of self, I went onto Google, right? And I searched for a red Toyota Supra, like pages and pages and pages. And I could not find this guy's picture. I even searched for like for sale ads across the country. And this car was obviously a car that he had either taken a picture of one point in time or is something that he has and he's just trying to scam people for money. I look it up, I can't find the pictures. Like, okay, that adds up. He says he's stationed at an Air Force base. Well, I have a lot of friends in the Air Force, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see if this guy actually checks out. So I give them his name. I was like, yo, can you guys check out who this is for me, see if he's actually a real person? And then along with that, I email Sound Performance to see if this guy really existed. Long story short, he didn't exist. Sound Performance never looked at his car, and I'm pretty sure that car, it definitely exists, but it's not theirs. This guy had probably the most solid, in-depth, thought-out scam ever. But just, I want to use this example for you guys. If you see a deal on a car, like especially as you're in high school, it's really easy to fool people who have not been around for a long time. It is so easy to get caught up in scams because some people have their stories so straight, it's so believable, you don't even want to look into it. Not entirely relevant to this video, but I had to say it because it was a really fun experience. YouTube, for all of us, for all creators, is a business, and the way we generate money is by viewership. The set standard to have viewership on YouTube is to build as many cars as possible and to just spend as much money on real parts, and honestly spend more than you make in order to make a living, if that makes sense. And it just doesn't make sense. And like I explained in the video before, I don't enjoy building my cars super fast. I just love taking my time. I don't want to conform to that, so I was like, you know what? Everybody else is making a move before I am. I want to be the first in the US to import and build a Skyline in the USA and do it on a YouTube channel. I know there's obviously plenty of them here, but nobody's documented it. I was looking into buying an R34. It was to the point to where I even had one picked out. I was getting shipping figured out. I was about to buy stuff to fill a container. I was literally about to pay somebody to go and dismantle the car for me so they could send it here, and I'll explain more about that. And then I talked to my guy, my broker, and essentially, no matter what, you can face time in prison and or get a massive fine up to like $250,000 just by importing these cars. But let me explain to you, I think it's fun information. It's federally illegal, by the way, to even own an R34 in the States. It doesn't matter what state it's registered in. It doesn't matter if you have registration for it or if you have a title for it. It is and always will be federally illegal until 1998. In fact, if you have imported an R34, every single R34 in the States right now will never be federally legal, if that makes sense. It's just, there's a lot of cool complications to it. I want to start off by saying there's a couple different ways you can import a car. Both of them, again, are federally illegal, but one of them's safer and one of them's just dumb. There is a way that you can get the entire car over here with engine and trans, but you face time in either jail or prison. I don't know. It's a big deal. The first way is to buy the car in Japan, right? Whatever car it is. Now, I do not recommend doing this. Again, it's very illegal. You basically tell customs that what's in the container is not what's in the container. So you say it's a Toyota Camry. But if they open it up and they see that it's a federally illegal car that is not allowed in the United States, guess who's facing mega jail time and probably some big fines? You. So that's way one, and people have actually gotten away with that. Like, there's obviously other ways too. You can import it to Canada or whatever, and then you can drive it across the border, but that's still federally illegal. And then there's the other way, which I was going to do, which I didn't realize this was still federally illegal. You buy a car, right? You dismantle it to the point to where it's not really a car anymore. It's just a hunk of a bunch of pieces of metal. So you pay somebody in Japan to go get this car for you. You pay them to go dismantle it. You take the engine out, you take the trans out, you take the wheels, tires, brakes, the whole drivetrain, all of that out. All of it comes out. And you basically have a giant piece of metal that technically once upon a time was a Nissan Skyline. And I almost got to that point, but then I asked the guy, I was like, is this still federally illegal? He was like, yeah, you can still get in big trouble, but it's a lot less likely, so that's also another way of doing it. But it is, dude, it's super illegal. It's super illegal. I almost said screw it and just took the chance. It's like, you know, if I'm the one who gets to do this first, it's gonna be awesome. The morality of that just got to me, and I was like, you know, I don't think I can, I couldn't do that. Plus the car would always be federally illegal. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the cars being federally illegal. There are a lot of states, even though it's illegal on a federal level, there's a lot of states where it's actually still really easy to title the car. Florida is one, Texas is another, and there's a couple in the Midwest that really don't care too much, and they'll give you a title for whatever vehicle if you just show up and say, I have this vehicle, need a title for it. So on a state level, some of these cars might technically be legal, but none of them, I have done a lot of research on this, and I didn't even realize this, nothing that has been imported federally illegally will never, ever be federally legal. So if you import a Skyline now, no matter what, in 2023 or whatever it is, whenever they're finally legal, that car will always be legal because you imported it illegally. not going to be legal. Now, I'm sure there probably might be some ways around it to like prove, oh, I just imported it or something, I don't know. But that's crazy to me. So I've also been looking at importing an R33 because they just became legal as of, I think, this last week, like August 1st. I've looked at plenty of other cars to import, but it's really, really complicated and very expensive. And I forgot to mention, shipping, that whole shipping mess is usually about $10,000 on top of whatever. Actually, probably like $15,000 or something like that is about correct. But I was looking at R33s, and then I ended up finding some that were in the States. I found a couple R33s for sale that had been imported legally, like US legal R33s. So I talked to my broker. I was like, yo, instead of importing one, why don't I just buy one that's already been imported so I can save myself on all the importing fees and stuff. It was August 2nd. I had showed this to him. He's like, unless that car showed up off of the boat yesterday, that car is illegal and will never be legal in the United States. Which I was like, that is super weird. But he's from a state to where he was able to get a title for the vehicle. So technically, he can drive that car around in the States, but it's still illegal to title that vehicle because it came in before August 1st. I could still get in just as much trouble for buying that car that has been legally imported than I could for importing my own R34 or R33 that's a later year than 1993. It's absolutely wild. There's so many complications to it, aside from just price. Like, there's just so much. I could seriously probably talk about this all day long because it's so fascinating to me, looking at all these laws. So anyways, yeah, importing anything under the 25-year law is a crime, which is wild. And I think it's really silly because it's just a car. But I was really passionate about, after learning all this, like, this is really dumb and this should all be legalized. Like, if we've legalized so much stuff that is like so much crap in the past 5 years, why can we not just go ahead and make this an exception? So I wanted to go ahead and make this shirt. It says legalize the R34. And I think that'll be really funny. So we're actually taking pre-orders on that shirt. I think it'll be really funny. I'm gonna wear it in videos all the time. So we're gonna be taking pre-orders of that. So we're gonna have to order the shirts to order and then have them printed and stuff. I think it'll be really funny to have a bunch of people walking around saying legalize this, because you see people with like legalize a lot of stuff walking around. But I think doing it for cars is sick, because R34s, I'm gonna be TBH with you guys. R34s should definitely be legal. I'm trying to sit on the right hand of the car with an RB26 and listen to these sounds. I'm trying to do that! There's a bread factory right there, and it always smells incredible. It is the dumbest thing ever. It's great. Man, I'm just kind of all over the place right now, but I want to talk to you guys about what I was planning on buying. So I was not gonna buy a GTR, because the way I was gonna do it, you had to take the motor and the trans and everything out. So I was not gonna buy a GTR and then lose the trans and have to pay another 15 grand to get an RB26 with the all-wheel drive trans. It was not gonna happen. I was gonna buy a Skyline R34 25 GT. Probably a coupe, but maybe a sedan, because 4 doors are just lit. I was gonna buy that, and then I was gonna engine swap it whenever I got back to the States, either an RB25. I was actually thinking about doing a 2JZ because I've seen people do it before and it's not that hard, and it would just be funny to do that, I think. I literally had a 25 GT picked out. It was white. It was, I think, $1,500 US. And I was about to pull the trigger, and then I started talking more and more to this guy, and he's like, yeah, he was gonna do it, but he was like, yeah, I mean, honestly, you're still just as likely to get screwed. You could still have big time trouble. And to me, that was just not something to me, it was not worth the risk, because not only would I have been fined or gone to jail, I would have lost the $20,000 or more that I would have spent to get the car over to the States if it would have gotten impounded or crushed or whatever they do. So it was wild. But needless to say, I am still looking for a car, but I might end up going just a completely separate direction. My heart and my passion is with Japanese cars. But honestly, I just love cars, period. So we might do something. I might get Victoria a project car. Victoria and I are about to go test drive some cars maybe this week, and we're gonna see about doing something completely different, something that we've never done. I'll be keeping all of my cars. I'm not gonna be selling anything. I'm gonna keep building this Evo. So if I get a new car, I don't want you guys to think that the Evo is like done. The Evo is where I want it to be, but it's not done. Like, I have a lot of stuff that I want. I might still get a wing. I get a carbon fiber rear aero. I I'm gonna make my own front splitter. I want to do a bunch of interior stuff to it. So this car is not done. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just kind of giving up on it. I did really want to share my experience with you guys because I actually did say on Snapchat, I talked on Snapchat about me wanting to import a car, and a lot of people said that they would love to see a video about the process. And I completely agree, because I have gained all this information and all this knowledge about how to import a car, and I want to share it with you guys because I just think it's fascinating as hell. Long story short, I really did try importing an R34. I still might import something else, who knows. But for now, I think I'm just gonna keep looking for a really fun car and keep doing things my way and do it fun, because I tell you guys what, no matter how, I don't care if I make $2 million a month, I probably would never want to ever build cars as fast as any of these other YouTubers are, because I just, personally, I don't get joy out of that. I love taking my time. I love just enjoying cars for what they are and enjoying cars at separate stages, so. I didn't even hit boost. I really hope you guys enjoyed the classic Evan Shanks vlog. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I really would love to get... My water tastes like butthole. I know my OGs love videos like this, so this one's for you boys. I'm gonna probably try and get a better setup next time. I know this is really shaky and just the worst. I just wanted to share my incredible experience of trying to import a car from Japan. But also, seriously, these shirts are for sale. Make sure you cop one. If you want the R34 to be legalized, then cop one of these shirts. We'll make it happen. Maybe if we get enough people wearing these shirts, maybe we'll make it happen. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, everyone, and be victorious!